All right, a very big welcome to you, my viewers and subscribers from all over the world. Thank you for being my guest once again on The Truth with Ben Jokes. The United States mission to Nigeria has announced that the US government is set to investigate how past aids allocated to Nigeria has been utilized. What a shame. The US will come and investigate Nigeria in Nigeria. There is no kind of insult that the APC has not brought upon this country. If you consider the resources this country is endowed with, you will realize we need no financial aid at all from any country. What politicians are stealing from our crude oil alone is enough for some of them to spend in 2 lifetimes. Yet, they choose to go begging for aids from foreign countries only to still loot these aids. The Nigerian situation is perhaps the most bizarre in human history, and our situation has gone completely worse under the APC. About 48 hours ago, the Nigerian Air Force dropped a bomb on an innocent community, killing innocent civilians. And we haven't heard a word from Aso Rock, not a word from Chief of Air Staff, only for the Chief of Defense Staff to come on air few hours ago to make a pronouncement that rocked the entire nation. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, ex-president Goodluck Jonathan launched an unexpected attack on 2 people who have previously occupied Aso Rock. And when you listen to this statement, you don't need to be told that he was referring to Buhari and TINUBU. He said there should be 2 big buildings in Abuja with the pictures of both of them designated as the 2 men who have terribly messed up Nigeria. And he didn't stop there. He began urging Nigerians to rise against the political class. He said they should rise against bad behavior, that only then will Nigeria be redeemed. And you may say he is one of the political class too. Well, he didn't care. He said it anyway. And we have never heard or seen Goodluck Jonathan attack anyone in this manner. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. When I say the APC governor of Benue State, ex-Reverend Father Alia, is a mischievous man, some of you will say I am harsh. But now, watch Honorable Tese Ugbo, a lawmaker from Benue State, uncover the truth on the state of insecurity in the state and how the state government is trying to hide the truth. See the video.
I don't know where the state government, through this advisor or something, I don't know where they get their own security briefing from. But I, as a representative of these people, I am aware that there has been killings. I'm aware that in Christmas we buried several people who were killed. It was all over the news. I'm aware that after the New Year, there was an attack by the bandits, the Fulani bandits as they call, we know them to be. There was an attack by the bandits where they even went and burnt the immigration outposts that we were managing in that place. As I speak to you, the immigration has approved to build a 50-man operational base in that community because of the insecurity going on there. As I speak to you, the Inspector General of Police has approved a border patrol unit for that community because of the insecurity going on there. Just recently, a convoy of the Army, the Navy, the Civil Defense, Immigration, and the rest of DSS went down to that community to go and have an on-the-spot assessment and came up, it was so clear that there was insecurity and there's killing in this place. For the government to
So why would the state government want to deny
that there is no killing?
Which one do we
It's
trust?
unfortunate.
Which source
do you know that recently?
Theirs or yours?
You cannot deny the facts. The fact is, recently, the Cameroonians had to step in and help us in our community to kill almost 40
the Cameroonian gendarmes?
Cameroonian gendarmes. Because when we were attacked, when they attacked the Bond Immigration Office and they displaced several communities there, they were trying to go back and they followed the wrong route that took them into Cameroon. And the Cameroonian gendarmes killed a lot of them. They went back to Kashimbila, went and regrouped and came out. We had 2 days of non-stop fighting in those communities. A lot of people have been displaced.
This documented? Because claims and counterclaims.
We have evidence.
Documented?
There are pictures, there are evidence. I'm in touch with my counterpart on the Cameroonian side. We talk about this every day. I talk to my colleagues from Taraba, who are also neighboring our constituencies from Kasinala and from Kwande Axis. Do you know that from Ikom in Cross River State, all the way eastern Nigeria, all the way 900 kilometers to Adamawa, there's no single security presence.
That's the border with Cameroon.
The border with Cameroon. There's no security. Meanwhile, the Cameroonians have checkpoints across on the outside of the border. On the Nigerian side, there's not a single operational base of any security agency in that place. So the whole of our eastern flank of Nigeria is exposed.
You heard that. APC will tell you they are fighting insecurity, but our borders are as free as the winds, porous for all manner of gunmen and terrorists to come in. So when we tell you that the APC is complicit in insecurity in Nigeria, you are the one that needs to reason with us. Look at what is happening in Benue State. The state is sinking, turning upside down, yet the APC state governor is trying to cover the truth, feeding journalists and the entire Nigeria with lies just because he wants the TINUBU administration to look good. What a shame. This man is sacrificing the lives of his people to please TINUBU. Anyway, let him continue. It is the people of Benue State that should wake up. When the people are tired of dying daily like chickens, they will do the needful. The next video here is an interview with the Statistician General of the nation, Mr. Semi Adeyemi, who claimed inflation had reduced from 34% to 24%. But after he was quizzed by Charles, he began giving an explanation that says propaganda, propaganda, and more propaganda. No effect on the quality of lives of Nigerians. See the video.
To know, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is that basically it would not be right for us to conclude that inflation has eased. You know, if we assume that inflation has eased as a result of your rebasing, that would be a misinterpretation of the figures.
So I'm coming to that.
Right.
So saying that inflation moved from 34.8 to 24.48% is not the interpretation.
Right.
We are coming with a new inflation rate for the country that show the present inflationary pressure in the economy, so that government know what actually is the correct situation.
But you know, for the ordinary person on the street, it's about their pocket, and it's about the cost of stuff in the market. For that person, this rebasing is not saying that prices have come down in the market to the new inflation rate.
Exactly.
So what is it saying then?
So the new inflation rate is saying that prices are moving up, but in a slower rate.
Right.
That's what inflation measures. Inflation is measuring when prices are going up. At what rate is those prices moving up? You may have in a particular month, depending on the situation, the price will be moving rapidly, changing rapidly. And in another month or period of the year, you will see inflation not moving. The prices can still be going up, but not as much as it used to be. That's what inflation is measuring. The rate at which prices are moving.
Right.
Is different from the actual prices that people are paying for goods and services.
Yes, I see.
So as we said, inflation is 24.48%. Doesn't mean the prices of goods and services in the market has changed.
Right.
But the rate by which some of the items are changing prices is what inflation is measuring.
Right.
So we are not saying prices has come down generally in the market.
You saw that. So now you know the plan that TINUBU and his cabinet had when they said they would reduce inflation rates to 15% in the year 2025. Their plan had nothing to do with the prices of goods and services. In other words, the people can keep suffering, prices can keep increasing, but we will continue to look for ways to make the government look good on paper, because that is what this rebasing is all about. He's saying that prices were increasing at 34.4% before. Now the prices are increasing at the rate of 24.8%. So it's not about prices reducing. It's about them not rising as high and as quickly as they used to. But just give it time. In a short while, the prices are going to begin to rise even quicker than they were rising. By the time electricity tariffs go up again, all this increase in tariffs that are on ground, by the time they are implemented, watch the prices begin to skyrocket even more than they used to. But I don't blame them. I blame the people who bear the brunt of inflation. The people are the ones who must say enough is enough. If Nigerians don't rise against the political class and elite, this suffering will never end. point blank, period. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that shocking announcement from the Chief of Defense Staff, and next is that brutal attack by ex-President Goodluck Jonathan. And you don't need anyone to tell you that he was referring to TINUBU and BUHARI on this one. And he went on to charge Nigerians to say no to the oppressors, to say no to the political class, and reject bad behavior. Let's start by taking that update from the Chief of Defense. Look at how the papers reported it. 789 ex-terrorists undergoing de-radicalization, rehabilitation, reintegration program, CDS. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says about 789 ex-terrorist combatants are presently undergoing the de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program under the Operation Safe Corridor initiative. Musa, represented by the Chief of Defense Policy and Plans AVM Shayo Olatunde, made this known at the OPSC stakeholders meeting in Abuja on Tuesday. He explained that the program was initiated due to the mass surrender of Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province members induced by the well-coordinated operations by all stakeholders. He said that more than 120,000 insurgents and their families had surrendered since the inception of the program, adding that the 789 ex-combatants were expected to graduate within the year. I must state that your relentless efforts and commitment to ensuring national security are highly appreciated. The success recorded so far are a testament to your resilience and commitment to duty. In spite of the success, we must remember that there is a lot more to be done, hence the importance of this stakeholders meeting. We currently have a total of 789 ex-combatants undergoing a de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program under the initiative who are expected to graduate this year. You saw that 789 ex-terrorists are undergoing rehabilitation to be reintegrated probably into the Nigerian army. And if you are privy to the condition under which they are being rehabilitated, you will marvel. You will marvel at the level of comfort. Even army and police recruits will not be so pampered. Tomorrow, the CDS will wonder why his visa was rejected by Canada. You are treating terrorists like kings because they claim to have repented after killing hundreds of Nigerians. You are giving them the kind of treatment that millions of innocent Nigerians cannot even get. You are giving them treatment that those in IDP camps cannot get. Yet it was these same terrorists who displaced them. What a catastrophe. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from ex-President Goodluck Jonathan began making the rounds. Look at how the papers reported it. Ex-President Jonathan proposes 2 buildings in Abuja to display pictures of leaders who contributed to Nigeria's problems. Sahara reporters. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has suggested that Nigeria should create 2 buildings in Abuja to display pictures of individuals who have contributed to the country's problems. He argued that such an initiative would ensure their descendants recognize the negative roles their forefathers played in Nigeria's history. Speaking at the book launch of former Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase in Abuja on Tuesday, Jonathan criticized Nigerians for tolerating bad behavior from political leaders. He insisted that political leaders would act responsibly only when citizens begin to reject misconduct. We Nigerians celebrate the wrong thing, and I believe one day the country will get to the level where people will reject bad behavior. And when we get to the level we reject bad behavior, this issue will not happen again, he said. Maybe one day we will have 2 big buildings in Abuja where we will put pictures of people, dead or alive, who have messed up this country so that their grandchildren will know their forefathers were part of Nigeria's problems, he stated. Jonathan strongly opposed the use of military personnel for election duties, stating that it overstretches the armed forces. He emphasized that elections should primarily be managed by the police and the Independent National Electoral Commission. Having been the president of this country before, when you talk about internal security, it is an area that touches my heart, and especially when you talk about election security, again, it is an area that touches my heart. One gets worried when it comes to Nigerian elections, he noted. You heard that. Now, before I talk about the part where he spoke about putting pictures of those who have messed up Nigeria in two big buildings for their descendants to see, let me react to the part where he hinted at a revolution. He said he believes that one day the country will get to the level where people will reject bad behavior. He said, and when we get to that level, those bad behaviors will cease after we have rejected them. That is a subtle call for a revolution. Amechi has said the same thing. Yusuf Dati said it. Femi Falana has said it. Obasanjo has said it. Dr. Bugaji has said it. And then ex-president Goodluck Jonathan is saying this. Now, these men are not saints themselves, but the level of decay in this country is enough to get anyone with a conscience worried. It was through a coalition that the APC grabbed power. So if these men want to form a coalition, that will lead to a revolution, please, they should go ahead quickly, because this country is sinking fast. It is what we keep saying here every day. Without that kind of approach, I don't see this country getting out of this quagmire. So men like Goodluck Jonathan, Rotimi Amechi, Olusegun Obasanjo, and all these men who are heavily blessed and who have really benefited from Nigeria when it seemed to be working a little bit before the APC came and destroyed everything, I think there's a big responsibility on their shoulders to lead this revolution. These men are big enough to do it, because in every country where this thing has happened, it does not just happen. It is men that, help it to happen. And Nigerians must also be in the right frame of mind to align with this process. And on the issue of putting the pictures of those who have messed up Nigeria in two big buildings in Abuja, I think that is a very, very wonderful idea. It's an idea I wish could pull through. If we have someone like His Excellency Peter Obi, at the helm of affairs, then you can almost be sure that such an idea can pull through. And if we are going to have two buildings like that, one of the buildings must be reserved for only two pictures. The pictures of Buhari and TINUBU. One of the buildings, they will just fill it up from any picture of TINUBU that you can grab him. He doesn't have more than 3 or 4 pictures. Just enlarge them in different forms and put them all over the building. Then Buhari on too, you fill everywhere up with it. Then any other person that is found guilty of messing up Nigeria, you can put their picture in the other building. But these two have been the most terrible men, the worst things that have ever happened to this country. And let me add that when I talk about a revolution, it's not always about fighting and burning, structures. No, that's not what I mean always. Although violence is part of it, because you have to match the APC, violence for violence. But that's not exactly what I mean. What I mean is like electoral reforms that can ensure a free and fair election. Reforms that can ensure that when Nigerians go to the polls and they vote, the person they chose will be the one to emerge. Such reforms should be designed and monitored, and such reforms, we should ensure that such reforms are implemented and they don't fail. Like the way INEC chairman came up and said there was a glitch. That was why he couldn't transfer results to the IREV. The revolution should make sure that if he does that, the election will be cancelled. There must be transfer of results from the polling unit to the IREV. That's what I mean. When the people can stand their ground on a matter. We have not started burning buildings. We have not started doing anybody, but 20,000 of us are out in Abuja standing our ground on this matter. 15,000 of us are out in Taraba. 10,000 are out in Kwara State. 18,000 are out in Oyo State, Ibadan, standing upon this matter. And you will see, in a matter of days, things will begin to take shape in Nigeria. And I hope and wish that one day Nigerians will come to the realization that if they don't take this kind of action, this country will never be fixed. Anyway, make I leave am here, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.